It's a glorious day here at Cabinet Joint. I'm Justin, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to install the Blum Aventos HK lift hinges. And these hinges are super nice. You know, typically your door is opening to your side like this, but these, as you can see here, lifts just directly up. This comes in handy in a multitude of different ways. Most of the time you're seeing this on a fridge cabinet and other sorts of taller cabinets where it's just those upper ones that are hard to reach. It makes it easier to open and also more accessible. One quick thing to note is that this cabinet is for range hoods. So you see the extra grooving and stuff that's inside of here. Don't let that distract you. The inside of this cabinet will never be used for storage and really never be seen. It's really just to have access to your range hood and be able to maintain it as you need and clean it out and stuff like that. So please don't be distracted by the seemingly unfinished inside. This video does not cover the assembly of this box. It is already assembled as we go into it. It only is covering the installation of these hinges, but I will say, as you are assembling, please leave off the back. It will make your job a lot easier because it's then easier to install the door. So assemble your box and then pick up right where we are in this video, but leave that back off. For tools and supplies that you're going to need to install your Aventos HK lift hinges, you can start out by getting yourself a drill with a 3/32 drill bit, another impact with a number 2 Phillips head, then a screwdriver. We have the Blum one here. The Blum one works best, but you can also use just your standard number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. A pencil, a tape measure. You're going to use our cabinet joint inset jig that we have. You will also need to have your door stops that come with your job. You are going to need some material to block out your cabinet walls, so you're gonna need some 3/4 material. I also highly recommend, if you have any doors with glass panels in it and you're gonna be able to see through, make sure you get a matching interior, but your cabinet coach will take care of all of that for you. So make sure you have your blocking and then screws, just wood screws to install into your cabinet sides, and make sure you don't get screws that are too long and that are gonna poke through that side. So I have an 1¼ inch screws here because I have 3/4 material and a 3/4 cabinet side. If you only have 1/2 inch cabinet side, only use an 1 inch long screw. And then you'll also need a bit for those screws. And then you will be getting 2 boxes with the Blum logo on it. And in those boxes, you are going to get the actual lift hinges themselves. This is the Aventos HK lift hinge right here. You're gonna be getting the hinges. You're going to be getting 6 screws for installation. And then you're gonna be getting a cover plate. That way it covers up all that nasty metal inside and looks really pretty. So with all that being said, let's get into the install. In this video, you will notice that holes have already been drilled in different parts of this cabinet. That's because these hinges were already installed by the time of making this video, but trust me, we did the exact same steps that I'm showing you here. So the first thing we're going to do is install that blocking, and for this, I just use 1¼ inch screws to then install 3/4 piece plywood. That way, our cabinet side is flush with our face frame. You can go ahead and butt it to the front. I had to move my block down ever so slightly to be able to catch all the screws for this hinge, but if your block's big enough, you don't need to worry about that. Now that we have the blocking installed, we can go ahead and install our hinge, but we have 3 screws that we need to locate where they're gonna go. I built a template for this. You don't need to use a template. On the screen is gonna be a picture of my template here, and you can just pause the video, use those measurements on your cabinet side, or you can use a piece of cardboard or a piece of paper and mark out those measurements. If you're only building this once for your house, it might not be worth the time, so you can just use those measurements on your cabinet side then. And worth noting as well, make sure you are using the correct left and right side because those measurements are different. This is an inset application for overlay. To install your hinges, your measurements will just be 3/4 less from left to right. So these hinges can be installed either side, but the thing you have to look out for, and the reason we can't just use the same measurements on either side, is this would be the right side of your cabinet, and notice up here and over here, there's 2 screw holes, and if you were to install it this way, your screw would be going here on the left side where that hole is. But then when you install it on the left side and you flip it over here, that screw is now being installed here in the center, and then the one furthest to the front frame. So that's why we can't just use the same measurements on either side. Something to be careful about. And then using those holes that we've pre-drilled, we can then screw in our hinges, and then with those hinges screwed in, we can install the clips on the hinge. And this is where it's super helpful not to have the back onto your cabinet. So me and my shop helper here, we are going to just move the cabinet off to the back, and then we're gonna put a door face first onto our table. Then we're gonna go ahead and put the box over top of that. And now that it is in the hole, we are going to adjust the door to get it to where the reveal all the way around is equal. Then once we have that, we are going to take our pencil and trace out where those clips will go. Once we have that traced, we can take our cabinet off, put it to the side for right now, and then looking at our door, you see those marks that we went and traced. So taking the clips off the hinges, you can then put those clips on the door and line it up with your tracing and pre-drill and then install 2 screws. Now with the clips on the door, we can go and install the door back onto the hinges, and to do so, you just angle it up, and those clips, there's hooks on those clips, and those will catch on the hinge, and then you just squeeze them, and then they will pop right into place. At this point, your door is on, you're doing a great job, you're almost at the end, just a couple of fine, minute details left. You can close the door and then see any adjustment that you need to make sure all those reveals are perfectly equal. Once you have it closed and you see what needs to happen, you can then open your door again. Once you see how you need to adjust it, you can open the door and then adjust to fit your needs to make sure those reveals are all equal. To do so, there are 3 screws. Starting from the top, your top screw will measure in and out, that is from your face frame, either further into your cabinet or further out of your cabinet. Your middle screw will adjust left to right, and your bottom screw here will then adjust up and down. So using the combination of those 3, you can get your door to have a perfect reveal all the way around and remain in line with your face frame. Now that I'm done adjusting and all the reveals are perfect and it's in line, the last step for the door alignment is to install those door stoppers. You'll notice we are using our cabinet joint inset jig. You will receive one of these when you order an inset job with us. And using that, we are locating the holes to install our door stops. You'll notice these door stops are bent. We have an entire video about door stops. You can learn more about that using the link in our description. Once you have your door stops in place, we are going to focus on the door opening and closing speed. We are going to adjust the power factor, which is located on the back of the hinge. This adjusts your resistance as you open and close that door. So there's a Phillips head screw that's back there, and that adjusts a cam, and you can adjust that to either give you more or less tension depending on how big and heavy your door is. I'd recommend using a drill for this because it goes a lot quicker than just a hand screw, and I'd recommend getting both sides pretty equal, otherwise one side will be opening and closing harder than the other side. The door opens and closes at a speed that I like, and all of the reveals around the door at an equal margin. The last step for this cabinet is to put the back on, and now that this cabinet is fully assembled and the hinges are installed, it is good to go and be installed in the kitchen. I hope you found this video helpful as you are installing your Aventos HK lift hinges. And key things to remember are those measurements that we talked about, making sure you orient your left and right side correctly, and then adjusting your door to get all those gaps perfect, adjusting that back screw, and keeping the resistance on your door perfect. You're gonna have to obviously have more resistance when it's heavier and less resistance when it's a lighter door. These hinges are a great option to give you more accessibility in those tall cabinets or upper cabinets in general. If you have any more questions, reach out to your cabinet coach or call us at 888-211-6482. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.